EIS is an ETF, which is an exchange-traded fund. An exchange-traded fund is a fund, it's like a group of individuals. It's like a mutual fund, except for it's a single share of a mutual fund. It's not a mutual fund, it's an exchange-traded fund. Say you have a desire to invest in military supplies, or say you have want to invest in a social justice warrior fund. Say you want to invest in, if you're a conservative that believes in Second Amendment rights, you want to buy gun stocks, stock in companies that produce guns or ammunitions or anything like that. Or you're a social justice warrior who wants to deal only with companies that want to save the seals or help the environment. Any one of those will have an ETF that you can purchase. What an ETF is like a small mutual fund. They'll invest in different companies. The EIS is a foreign ETF. It has to deal with Israel. So if you were interested in buying, say, all the stocks that were in Israel because you wanted, or all the stocks that are in Canada, or all the stocks that were in Mexico, or all the stocks that were in China, or all the stocks that were in Honduras, you could get an exchange-traded fund that would mirror those stock exchanges, like the Canadian Stock Exchange or the Israeli Stock Exchange. The ETF that I purchased was EIS, which was Israeli. Israeli stocks. Many things in Israel are advanced. Cell phones are advanced in Israel. A lot of things are advanced in Israel. So it could be used as a hedge. I own 40-some stocks. I own only 2 ETFs. Right now, both ETFs' dividend are, to me, rather low. But I bought them anyway. The technology in Israel is superior to many of the countries that there are in the world. A lot of people want to diversify with gold. A lot of people want to diversify with silver. A lot of people want to diversify with other stocks. I prefer stocks, and like I said, I own only 2 ETFs at this time. I have to find good ETFs, but the one that I have is EIS. Its dividend is very, very low. Israeli stocks have a tendency to only pay annually or semi-annually. So if you're looking for a consistent, persistent income, the Israeli ETFs are not the way to go. If you're looking to diversify, like that other stock I have, QB, or the other quantum computer company, that is for diversification. That's not for monthly income. That's for just in case I was right and it hits a lot of money type thing. You could use QUBT is my lottery ticket, as it were. So it's not a company that I'm suggesting that you buy for an income on an ongoing basis. It's like a hedge to me. The 2 ETFs I have, the EIS and the other one, are like a hedge. So you can't, I cannot have 100% into one thing. Now, some people want to buy gold stocks. Some people want to buy silver stocks. Stocks that diversify, that purchase companies that mine gold or that produce silver or use silver. And gold metal stocks. Some have invest in stocks that are rare mineral stocks. In my opinion, most likely unless you're trying to mirror an entire stock market, like the Blue Star stock market. I wanted to diversify. I thought that the dividends were higher than that. I will have to revisit that. But EIS is the one of the two ETFs, which is exchange traded fund. It's like I said, it's like a mutual fund for one or two things. It's like a mini mutual fund. You could buy into a mutual fund and it would cost thousands of dollars, or however they do mutual funds. I don't do mutual funds. I would prefer to invest my money most of the time in single stocks, occasionally in ETFs. I only own 2. So for every ETF I have, maybe 20 normal stocks. And that's not including the quantum computer stock. So I have 40-some stocks that are income-producing stocks. But exchange-traded funds are a way to diversify into a sector that you find interesting. If you're a social justice warrior, you want to buy some stocks that are for social justice. Or if you want to be an environmentalist, there are certain stock ETFs that are focused on that. Focus on growing your money and helping the environment. Focus on growing your money and inclusion. I'm not sure which ones are LGBTQ. I don't know which ones are gun stocks, stocks that invest in guns. I haven't done anything with the LGBTQ community. I haven't done anything with the Second Amendment community for ETFs or anything else. But they're there. So you might want to put into your search bar ETF and then social justice, or ETF guns, or social justice, or ETF Canadian, or ETF Israeli, or ETF Mexico, depending on where you're trying to invest your money to diversify. I personally believe that not 100% of the money should be in one country. So yeah, I have a lot of American stocks. Yeah, I got a couple ETFs that are foreign. Both of the ETFs are, EIS is the one I have, and another one. And I'll go over the other one in another video. But the ETF, exchange traded funds, is a way to diversify your money into a stock, an additional stock group, an entire little group. So if you're a social justice warrior, or if you're a Second Amendment person, then you can go in and buy stocks in that particular group. I looked at, I don't think I looked at the, yeah, I was reading something about ETFs, and they were talking about, well, most of the ETFs are, they're supposed to be politically correct, and they don't want to do anything with guns or this or that, or no, the other one was energy companies. So they're trying to say a lot of the ETFs will try to stay away from investing in ConocoPhillips or ExxonMobil. And the other thing they try to avoid, a lot of the social justice warrior funds, is guns and ammo. Ammos and, you know, that sort of thing. So when I saw that, I said, well, maybe I should see if they have any ETFs that are exclusively for guns. Because I was curious. I mean, if all the ETFs are against guns, I was just wondering, you know, maybe I should check out to see if they have ones that have guns, and they do have gun ETFs. And some of those, one of them was a Mexican ETF that had a lot of guns, but certain countries you may want to invest in, other countries you may not want to invest in. To me, I would prefer some place like Canada or maybe Australia. I'm not too hip right now on England. Maybe England, maybe the rest of Europe, I'm not sure. I'd have to look at each country that I'd want to diversify into and find out, is it worth it to invest in that country. Canadians have certain things that are good. Australians have certain things that are good, but their population is like a tenth the size of the United States, so you have to check everything out in the economy. Japan in the 90s used to be good. I'm not sure right now. I haven't checked the Japanese economy lately. China, ETFs in China might be good, except they would grow a lot, but then you don't know whether the Chinese Communist Party would take the money and run. So the stability of the country has to be taken into account. Wherever you get your ETF, exchange-traded funds, you make sure that they invest in something that is important to you, and make sure that the dividend is decent. You want to invest your money, but you want to make sure that you're making money on your money. So if you have two social justice warrior funds that are the same, except for one gives a 5% interest or 8% interest, and the other one doesn't, dividend, and the other one gives you 0, check to make sure that the one that gives you 5 or 8% can actually maintain those dividends, and then decide whether that's what you want to do or not. Always check with your financial advisor. So ETFs, I own 2. So it's not the biggest part of a portfolio, but it's a part of most portfolios. If you have any questions, comment down below. For Brown-Eyed Girl in the other channel, or Brown-Eyed People in the other channel, peace out. For the logically minded people who like Vulcans, live long and prosper. For the people who love this country, God bless America. And for some Brits that might be watching us, have a jolly good day.